I got both the Tesla contracts ready here. Okay, because I'm watching for that breakout for puts. Roughly around 375.46, and I'm watching that breakout for calls roughly around 378.64. All right, Tesla's moving pretty well here. I would scale out of Tesla now if you're in Tesla at all. All right, I got my calls loaded for QQQ and NQ. I haven't drawn that box out, but this is where I would scale out of Tesla at 380. QQQ calls. My fill is right here at 288, actually. 288, 24, 288 on this fill. All right, I'm going to draw these out now. Tesla, I would have sold a quarter to half of your position, depending on the profits you made from yesterday, and I'd target 382 on Tesla, okay? Going for 20 points. Taking my first trim now on QQQ and NQ, everybody. First trim's right here. 20% profit. Letting this push up a little bit more now. Again, this is taking a second, so if you want to put your stop at entry, you're more than welcome to. I want to shoot for 50-ish points next. We have to bust right through this. Stop loss might be good at entry because this is a key level. If we reject it, we might just flush straight back down. That's where stop loss at entry would be nice, right? All right, Tesla taking another trim here on Tesla, guys. 380 calls. Take another scale out here. Contracts are moving okay, not tremendous. From 375 here up to 535 a contract on Tesla. Tesla still looks so strong. Oh my gosh. All right. Scaling out here, 550 a contract on Tesla, 550 a contract. Shooting for that same reject area from yesterday, same reject area. My thesis ends up happening. This rejection here of this key level. Tesla, taking the full exit here on Tesla, guys. Majority exit. Right there, 710 a contract, 710 a contract on Tesla. Again, it hasn't made as much as yesterday's profits. They're not 0 DTE, but they did very, very well here on Tesla. All right, it's showing me a lot of selling pressure at 266. A lot of selling pressure here. A lot. Holy moly. Wow. This is just flushing beautifully, isn't it? No, that's my reject area on Tesla. So that's why you take a full or a majority exit up there. So I can't enter in between my levels, but if this pulls back into 66 and shows me continued selling pressure, I might be interested in an early entry for shorts. Otherwise, just going to wait for 218. I have enough profits to take a full-size loss. So my next trade on QQQ NQ, it will still be a full-size trade because Tesla made a lot of money. All right, selling through here. I would scale out here if you entered at 66 for some reason. I know some of you enter whenever I say how much selling pressure there is. All right. If you're going to give QQQ a shot, the only entry criteria, again, entering if we pull back up to 66 or on the breakthrough of 218. We could actually take an early entry here. We actually could. As long as the selling pressure is on our side, okay? If we come back down. Tesla. Remember, all I have is 10% left on my Tesla position. If somehow we break above this, I got to let it rocket. I got to shoot all the way for 388. All right, NVIDIA is bouncing here. SPY is still trying to sell through, but NVIDIA is bouncing. AMD is going the complete opposite direction. This is a 1 minute, by the way, if you're curious of what the 1 minute looks like. All right, this is where you can get in for QQQ shorts or NQ shorts, QQQ puts. Drag this over. I just need NVIDIA to get weak and we're set. Again, if you're in from up here, I would take the majority exit here. If you're in from 66, when I was identifying the weakness myself, just had to follow my game plan. All right, I'm going to sell some right here, guys. I'm going to put my stop at entry. I'm going to target a little bit more out of this, 53 points on the sell side. This is 30 points profit currently. 30 points profit. Remember, you should have scaled out once. I'm trying to let this trade breathe a little more. If SPY can break low of day, when SPY approaches low of day, we might bounce, just FYI. So if you're wanting a zero drawdown trade, take a full exit now. If you don't want to encounter any drawdown, because some of you trade with 30% drawdown accounts. So all right. Selling some more right here, guys. Scaled out some more again. Got 30% of my position left on this trade just because Tesla was such a large trade for me. I'll target 73 points next. Beautiful trade so far. Stop loss should be at entry now. Stop loss should be at entry now. All right. It's all right if you took a full exit, Tyler. Not a problem at all, my friend. Great job, bro. Great job. All right, here's that third trim. Let's scale out again of this trade. Again, we're just letting it breathe. 280 a contract here. Good job, everyone staying in the trade with me. Now shoot for that lucky number, 100 points. Yeah, you should be majority out at this point, everybody. You should be majority out of your trade. I would only have, if I was trading with 10 MNQ, I would only have 1 to 2 contracts left over. 1 to 2 contracts. That's about it. Pick somewhere for a stop loss and profit. Don't let it go back to your entry if you're trading a prop firm. Please listen to my voice. If you're trading a prop firm, do not let it go back to your entry. Options, guys, if you're with me, I am letting it go back to entry because I am majority out of the position here. I got 10%, just like Tesla. 10% left on QQQ, 10% left on Tesla. 10% meaning, an example, if you bought 100 contracts, I have 10 contracts left. So if they do come all the way back to entry, it is not the end of the world. It is okay. I am usually okay with leaving that amount of risk on the table, just in case it happens to absolutely skyrocket in profit. Those 10 contracts can do a lot of work. They can make you a lot of money. But for prop firms, it is not worth it. You just want to pick almost like a separate risk to reward ratio trade. So here's an example. All right. Especially when you get that close to 100 points. I mean, look at that. That's 95 points profit. So that's when you want to ask yourself, all right, am I going to risk 60 points of drawdown for 5 more points of profit just to say I hit 100 points? No, unrealistic, probably not. So you could tell yourself, all right, I hit my 73 point trim, right? I hit my 73 point trim. We're shooting for 100. And then let's say you see yourself getting super close to 100 and you're like, oh, we're right there. At that point, it is reasonable to say, okay, let me bring my stop loss up to, let's say, 30 to 50 points in profit. If I'm a newer on the account, I'm probably picking somewhere actually around like 60 points. Because if that puppy pulls back, I'm like, cool, I only gave up $20 of open P&L from my 73-point profit trade, right? So you're basically relying on that trade to just continue flushing to 100 points. Because if that trade was to pull back 80 points, so you've given up $160 of open P&L on one MNQ because you were trying to make an extra $10 of open P&L. Do you see how that doesn't make any sense? You risked $160 to try to make 10 bucks. If you treat your future trim that you're trying to hit as its separate risk to reward ratio, and it's with a very small amount of contracts, that's where all of a sudden it doesn't make sense. So just start asking yourself, hey, where is it reasonable for me to take a full exit in this particular trade? Because every trade's different. Every trade's different, right? A lot of you guys will ask me these very blanket questions. Hey, James, what's a good trading criteria for trades? We can have a good general concept, but we cannot use that concept for every single trade because not every single trade's the same, right? Right? Both of these trades, I took them the same way. This trade, I confirmed with volume. I called out my entry. We took it. We got 27 points. This trade, I called out my entry with volume. We took it. We got 95 points. Both of them, I used the exact same strategy, the exact same entry model, and the exact same confluences. But both are vastly different in profit. Vastly different. So just something to be thinking about, okay? I already saw some questions about it. James, why didn't you get in on the break of 66 when you were calling out that there was a lot of selling pressure? Yes, I understand. You're a newer trader. In your head, you're probably like, the dude was literally saying out loud, there's a lot of selling pressure, and we started to dump from 66. Why would you not take your entry up there? Why give up all of this? It's simply because when I go back in time, my last red trading day was February 14th of 2025. So last year was my last red day. That day I went red, both of my trades that were red, I deviated from my trading plan. Both trades, I planned a bounce for all of us, the entire community. I'm ashamed to say it, but I planned a bounce. Both trades, I decided to go short at my bounce level. I completely disregarded my game plan, and I ended up red on the day. It's a disgrace. Not a disgrace that I ended up red. It's a disgrace that I literally took the time to prep a game plan for everybody. And not only did I fail myself, but I failed the entire community because I'm sitting here deviating from what we're supposed to do. So I remember that going forward, and I only execute at my planned levels. I do not like to enter, quote unquote, which would be in the middle. Yeah, that's my level. I get it, but that would have been in the middle. And I would have felt really silly if I got in for shorts right here and then it bounced. You know what I mean? It's so avoidable. So to answer your questions of why I'm saying it out loud because that's what I'm here to do. I am here to tell you what I am seeing with my eyes, and I'm trying to regurgitate it in a verbal format so you guys can learn. All right. That's why I'm trying to do that. But that's why I'm not necessarily taking the entry just because I see the selling pressure. I'm just saying it because some of you guys, you use that. You're critical thinkers and you say, James sees selling pressure. I like the weakness. I'm getting into shorts early. You already know, hey, James's bias for the day is if we can hold above 302, he's biased for calls. If we're below 302, like he said, we might reject 302. So if anything, we could look at 66 for an entry. Hey, that's all you. That's a beautiful part about being a critical thinker, about being a human being and taking your own entry. All right. I'm gonna scale out of Tesla a little bit more right here, guys. This has gained a lot of value. $8.35 a contract right here on the 830 calls. Oh my gosh, the 380 calls. So I'm scaling out a little bit more right up here on Tesla. These contracts have actually moved now quite well. All right, Tesla, I only have 5% of my position remaining on Tesla, guys. This is 121% here at the peak. Very good. Very good for those contracts. 121% there at the peak. I will look for a full exit at 388.28. All right. So, oh my, what the heck did I just do? Full exit up here, if we can get to it. If not, I will stop in profits. I'm going to stop in profit here. Okay. All right. QQQ contracts, they're holding up okay. Very close to stop me out there. My fill on these contracts sitting right there at around $1.69 a contract. Got super close to $1.73 a contract. The issue, though, is now we're selling through and the contracts are not gaining as much value as I would like them to. Again, I still have just 10% of the position left on QQQ, so I'm not trying to sell any of them. Just going to let this breathe. It essentially did, though, a break and retest here of 218. That's good. We should see I should see 100 points out of this, and I will be looking for continued selling pressure into 162 once we see 100 points profit. Good, good. The guy who called me Mr. Valor, I don't know. I have no idea what happened to him. Mark, I got into the NQ short exactly where I called it out at, Mark. Mark Sievers. It was very, very clear call out, very clear explanation. I literally said QQQ shorts, and then I drew out the box so you could see my entry. We didn't sell aggressively, nothing. That should have been a very friendly entry. Like everybody should have had a very roughly similar area of fill to mine, but that was a very clear call out. Where I actually get into the trade, though, is where I verbally say it. So. Good. All right. I'm seeing a lot of people are green. That's good. Nice. You guys like the short trade today? Even though it took a while, you guys like that? Pretty solid trade, right? Do you guys understand the setup? Do you understand why we were looking at that and why we took it? Does anyone need an explanation? All right, guys. You guys have a blessed one. 1% better every single day. Trying to look like some of you guys in here, some of you jacked dudes. All right. You guys have a blessed one. Peace out and stay safe. Tell your family you love them, the whole nine.